Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are just hanging out in the Nether for a little bit because we have a bunch of portals in here now and it's starting to get a little bit difficult to move in between all of them. Up here, I'm glad there wasn't lava there. Up here I've got the portal to our industrial district over there, and then one to our guardian farm on the roof, and then I've even put one in over here. And this goes to our mega build. So we've got 4 different portals right now and they're all over the place. So what I think I'd like to do is at least organize them up so that they're easier to get to. Right now these 2 aren't terrible, but the one on the roof is kind of a pain, especially from down there. So I'd like to move everything at least to about the same level and then make it easy enough for us to get to other people's portals as well. Butts has gone and put in this lovely path all the way over to, I think this goes to spawn. So what I'd like to do is clean up our area a bit more and just kind of make this a little bit more livable. I know that we have a portal down here as well for Butts, so maybe we can hook her up to that. And I think she's even got a piglin trading farm. Look at that guy. Oh wow, that's hilarious. I love that. I wonder if we can actually break their crossbows. So let's spend some time cleaning this up today and making it a bit easier. Right now I've just got this little room here to keep the piglins out of my portal. I think the first thing that we should do though is find out where this kind of connects to, and then I want just a straight shot up to the ceiling. So I'm going to go up here, and this is a path that we made last video. I think this should be right underneath where our entrance is. And if I just keep going down, I think it should open up shortly. Let me see. Oh, this is perfect. Yeah, so this is pretty much straight from where we... Ooh. Okay, now that he's taken care of, this looks like it's going to be a good spot for us. It's kind of right next to where we were going up before to get to our farm, so it's not really out of the way at all. And we'll probably need to do a little bit of bedrock removal just to get this all to work correctly. Let me see if I can clear some space out here, and then I'll show you kind of what we're working with. And this is kind of what we've got now. It's not perfect. I still need to open up that bedrock, but I'll do that off camera because that's going to take a little while. But I think that this is a good kind of entrance for it. It gives us an opportunity to go over to our farm up that way. I think we might bring that portal... Oh, should we bring that portal down or should we keep it there? I think we'll keep it up there. It's kind of in a good spot. I think we might move our other portal up. Maybe. I think it's just underneath about here, so that would be a good opportunity for us to kind of keep everything on the same level. And then getting attached to this is going to be, well, it might not actually be that bad because we have this hill that we can kind of hook up to, so we might just need to do a little bit of moving around, but I kind of want this build to be pretty large anyways. And after thinking it over for a little bit, I kind of ended up on this look here, and this is definitely not final, but all of the portals are on the same level, and we've got a portal for the Pirate Cove over there, and then that's the mega build, and then Butts' portal is just at the end of this hallway. I wasn't super happy with this because I still liked some of the stuff that was going on down at the bottom layer. And so I built this stairway down, and it goes through a couple of layers here, which is kind of cool. You get a little bit of the outside. So I've done my best to kind of keep this as intact as possible, but I asked her and she was totally fine with me moving her portal up. But I wanted to make sure that there was an easy enough way to get down to these striders, and we're also doing all of our netherite mining out that way. But I think what I'd like to do now is build up the entrance to this. Now that most of the portals are up higher, this area doesn't really do a whole lot. Oh, excuse me. Hi. It's fire everywhere. This area doesn't really do a whole lot for me just because we don't really have portals down here. So I think what I'm going to do is move this path up so that it meets somewhere around there. And then that'll kind of give us a good starting area for building out the actual base around all these portals. And I think for that, I'm going to need to go to the end and get a whole bunch of blocks. So, gotta go find a good spot to dig. And this is what I've kind of come up with for this bridge. So, I'm mixed on it. I don't know how to feel. I like having the chains holding everything up. I went for more of like an elvish look here, but I kind of wanted it to be all spawn proof, all gas proof, so I don't think any of this can actually blow up or catch fire. And I put in the arches just for a little bit of extra lighting there. And then when I got to that point, I thought about how would this actually be held up. And I ended up going with the grindstones. I do like kind of the design of this. I like having the alternating up and down so that you get this like chain link kind of look to it. I think that's really nice, but I don't know. If you can think of anything to kind of spruce this up a bit, let me know in the comments because I'm still mixed. I do like this little design. I think this is a better place to see it. I do like this little design here with the stairs and everything. Pretty much the entire staircase is built out of stairs, including all of the floor. I think that actually part of the floor is slabs, but I just wanted it to be nice and safe. There were a lot of gas around here. But now that this is all done, I'd like to actually start working on the space around the portal. So I'm just going to use this one here for now. And I think what I'm going to do, I don't have any of the materials on me. I think what I'm going to do is make a 9, I guess, diameter circle around this out of probably the end stone. And then we'll see where we're going to go with that. I want something kind of hanging from the ceiling, and I want it to be pretty tall. So I've made a couple of. You'll see. But I think that I've got an idea, and I'm hoping that it kind of works out. And this is actually a little bit tricky because it's not a circle because of the width of this is 2. Or 4, I guess, with that. So maybe we'll have to do a bit of an oval shape, but I don't know. I might need to play around with this a bit just to figure out the right dimensions for it. I think that this looks more right. Maybe if I do another one there. And so this is the shape that I've kind of come up with. It's just a 12 by 12 circle, but normally I like building in odd numbers as opposed to even numbers, so we're gonna have to deal with what we can. And I think normally I would build this wider part on the front, but we're kind of limited by this staircase here, so I think that this looks fine for now. And looking around at the other portals, the only other one that we can really do this kind of a design for is over here, and so I think we'll copy that over on this side. And then the portal to Butts' base is built into this hill, which I try to avoid as much as possible, but I guess we really only have a few options here. So I think I might try to expand this out a bit, just make it a little bit nicer so that she's not just stuck in the wall here. And then our farms over here are kind of the same thing, where they're not being suspended in the air. They're in this little platform, this raised area. So I think we'll try to do something a little bit different for this, but I don't know. I'm kind of playing it by ear. I'm just kind of going with what I feel is right. And then that area up there, we'll do something cool for this center tower. And this is what I've kind of ended up with now. And I'm not... I like that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think that it fits the theme really well. I think that it's good. And let's get a look from the bottom here. I kind of went for this suspended cone shape, I guess, and it looks kind of cool from over here, but I don't know. There's just something off about it that I think would make it look better. but I'm not sure what that is. So, like that, if maybe once we get everything else in, it'll make a little bit more sense and seem a little bit better. But it's pretty good, and it keeps the gas out, which is really the most important thing. It's all spawn proof. We're not going to have anything spawning over here, and it's nice and safe. So now that we've got this in and it's good enough for now, what I want to do is go and kind of do the same thing in some of the other portals over here. And then I think I'm going to come up with some kind of path in between them that will probably need a little bit of work too. So I think we'll keep this as like a solid like anchor point, kind of do the same thing that we were doing over there. And then same with here and there. And then we'll see how this turns out. I think the more that I add to it, the better it looks. So maybe it's just all this basalt that's kind of getting in the way. I do love this color of the end stone and the prismarine bricks. And then it's just such a nice contrast to the rest of the end where it's all really dark. This is a nice little touch of brightness in here. But let's go do that one and then get at least one of these paths in before we can make any big judgments. And I think adding in these bridges did make a really big difference. So coming up here, you can see that it connects really well with that, and all of this should be spawn proof. I think this guy either spawned in one of these these spots here. It's not totally spawn proof, but it's a lot better than it was. And I tried to make it look like it was kind of hanging down. I don't know why, but it looks really cool. It has this nice curve to it that I think I was kind of missing on this bridge. I kind of wanted to do that here, but I think that just the scale of it made it really hard to get any kind of really natural curve to it. So the smaller bridges work really well for that. And I wanted to make sure that it was easy enough for me or somebody else to just jump off the side. So I did add this little lip here, but you can still hop over and then jump off if you wanted to go flying around anywhere. And I think adding in some of the birch wood here and the trap doors are really handy too, just to break it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more, I don't know, organic, I guess? I don't know. I like it, but I could understand that some people might get a little frustrated with it just because you're moving up and down a lot. And I didn't do anything over here yet. This is a little bit intimidating for me, so I might have to break this up and do this over a little bit longer period of time. But I think what I'm going to do is add some more of those little huts, these hanging pagodas, I guess, throughout here just to break it up and make sure that we have a little bit shorter bridges in between each one, just to help out a tiny bit. I'll probably put one here at this junction. But I've also gone and broken through the bedrock up here. So now we can just fly straight out and there's our farm. So it's really only accessible by wings right now. I'd like to build either like a staircase or something like that. But that's just, it's a lot. It's taken me so long even just to break this. And we're going to need to widen this out probably at least 2 or 3 blocks on each side just to make sure that we have the space to build up through it. I really want it to be really tall and kind of just jut out through here. I think it could be cool to add a farm up at the top, maybe like a gold farm or something, but I don't really know how much I want to build one of those right now. Those are quite a bit of work, and especially with this area not really being spawn-proofed very well. You can see that there's so many zombie piglins here that I don't know how well we'd be able to spawn-proof this area for a gold farm. But I've been in the Nether for almost a week straight at this point, and I want to kind of get out and enjoy the fresh air for a little bit. So I've done a little bit of grinding over at the raid farm, and I've got a few shulker boxes here full of totems. So I think maybe we could find a good way to hand these out to some of the people on the server. I know that I think I only have a few deaths, and there's a couple of people on here that could probably use these more than me. So I've already got a stockpile of my own. Let's actually see how many I've got on hand already. Let's see, I think they're in, yep, here. And that looks like it's quite a few. I'm sure that this is not totally emptied out yet. Let's see. Yep, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say we have probably 7 shulker boxes full of totems right now, and they're not doing any good just sitting in there. So I'd like to come up with a way to hand these out to a whole bunch of the people on the server without making it easy for them. Just have to grab a little bit of quartz for some comparators, and I think we should be just about ready to go. And Sam's been putting in some work. I'm really impressed. He actually asked me over here a couple of days ago to take a look at this little gazebo over here, and I think that this is great. And I love this bridge here. But so that we can make sure he sees it, I think we might set up just down here, just outside of where his mountain range is. So let's clear some space, and I've got a design that I'm working with, so let's just jump into a quick time lapse for that. There's one of the tents done. I'm pretty happy with how this came out, actually. It's a little smaller than I was originally planning, but I think it fits in really well, and I think he can just barely see it if he comes out to here. It's just kind of peeking out, so that's kind of what I was going for. I want him to be like flying around here and just notice a little pop of color out in the distance and kind of be a little bit curious. It looks really good from a distance, actually. So taking a step back here, as I'm doing with the rest of the builds, kind of, this is all really inspired by nostalgic World of Warcraft stuff that I played a lot as a kid. And one of the things that was kind of a random event, it wasn't really random, it was very scheduled, but an event that came up was the Dark Moon Fair. And you could basically collect cards throughout the game and bring them back to get a reward. Now, I've kind of built the same thing in here, but we don't have the cards yet. I still have to make those, but you can basically see that at the end of this hallway here, we've got, maybe if I even do this, it'll be a little bit better. We've got a Totem of Undying in the back there, basically to say that's your reward. So drop the 3 hidden cards below this sign, and I'll have a lector in here with all of the rules and everything, but we have a hopper and a good bit of redstone that you probably saw me building down there. And the idea is that he will drop off the cards, and I've got, I think it's these 3, it was gravel, yeah. So it's a nether quartz, an arrow, and a piece of gravel in there right now. And I'm just going to toss all of these in. And you should see after a little bit, the first piece of glass is going to drop down, assuming that I did all the redstone correctly. Beautiful, there we go. And then after that, we'll do the same thing with the arrows. We should see the next one drop, there we go. And then I think I might need a little bit more gravel, but I've got that here. And let's just do, it should just be that much. Should do it. So I'm going to stand back a little bit. There's that, and you should see that, and then they should come around here shortly, unless I forgot to fill up the totems. Yep, I forgot to fill up the totems, so let me just pop a couple of those in, and I think as long as we throw, I think it has to be the last one. Let's just throw one more gravel in there. There we go, and we saw at least one go in there. I do need to make sure that they don't pop out there, but we've got a little dropper down here that should dispense everything. There's a very hidden comparator right there. Okay, everything should be in place. I've hidden most of the cards now. It's really tough to find 21 distinct hiding spots. There are still a couple that I can think of, but there's a lot. They're pretty much at everybody's base, at least one full set. And yeah, I guess we can finally test this out for real now. So, let's see, there's one. There's the last one. Cool. Then one more there. Yep. And then that one there. And cool. Everything looks good. And it should pop out, right? One. Why did we not get a second one? Apparently we really have to seal up this area for it to work correctly. So that should be good. I'm happy with this as is. I don't know if I need to really test it any more than I already have, but let's just get this all cleaned up and then we should be good to go. Carpet back on top. And there we go. I'll toss these back in the system and hide the rest of these. And I guess that's it. I was thinking I might not do a second one over at Crow's base right now. I think what I'll do is after this is all emptied out, I'll just kind of move it and maybe either put in a different reward or, I don't know, maybe I'll think of something then. But I think having two locations of it doesn't necessarily work the way that I'm intending. So I think that this will be just fine. I'll even add that carpet in there. But I think this looks great. And let's actually throw some shaders on really quickly so I can get a look at this. I think that's cute. I think that's a fun tent. I would change if I really cared all that much, or if this was going to be more of a permanent thing. What I might do is put in some more terraforming. Maybe even just some moss might look good here, but just something to add a little bit more color to it. I think that the red works really well, but it's missing something out front just to make it a little bit more inviting. I'm excited for everybody to get a chance to play around here. I'm going to post something in the Discord chat right after this, and then hopefully we can get some people looking around, trying to check out other people's bases. I've found some stuff while I was out exploring that I had never seen before, and I had no idea people were even working on. So that's really exciting, and I'm glad that I was able to get a chance to look around here. But that's going to be it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. We got quite a bit done. I mean, this bridge was not here when I started the episode, so I'm really happy with the progress that we did make in the Nether. Even though we didn't finish it and there's still quite a bit to do, I think that the progress that we've made so far makes it way easier for us to get around here. And we've been able to hook up other people's portals to our system as well. And for anybody that's wondering, Sam has already gone and found at least 4, I think, cards that I've hidden around. He found 2 or 3 at his base, and then another one in the Nether. But thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing if you're not already. And go hit that like button. It's right down there. Just down there. Go do it. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!